Okay, we should be live. Let me open up the chat window as well. And yeah, for today's stream, I'm just gonna hang out, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but I will likely either do the league, either matchmade or just solo, or do some of Golden Bullet on this account, as I haven't done either.
Please approach the safe area using one of the designated checkpoints.
Yeah, and I'm curious if people will join me for this. So I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to ramble, just for the VOD anyway as well. So I am on my alt account. I'm not, and this account, yeah, it's a lot lower than the other one, but still 1K and has all the points. I think just starting out, I am just gonna bang out the league content on this account and see if anybody joins me for it. Yeah, let's see. So I'm going to just quickly check. So it's DCD, Potomac, Lincoln, and Roosevelt from memory, and I'm just gonna turn on tracking and just track it, make it easy on myself. So I'm just quickly going to check if I'm okay on my levels, and that all seems okay. Game's also coming in, so that should be fine. Yeah, so tracking all activities, and I'll just start the matchmaking process and let people filter in a little bit.
Invite to another.
That was quite instant, although I think I may have matchmade for heroic. Oh no, I actually did pay attention and matchmade for hard as I should for elite. Would not be the first time that I accidentally just matchmade for heroic. Yeah, just still have to warm up a little bit. But this is at least a mission that I know very well, so should be quite easy.
Heading for the admin terminal! Stop them!
And mostly the trick with League, especially on hard, is just to mostly pay attention to what is going to survive my fire. Most of the things will just die to my fire, and there's absolutely no need for me to just hang around and waste time on them. And that's usually the thing that people mess up with quite often.
It's not detecting the gas needed for the decom process. They must have disabled the line.
Hit the main fuel line.
And I actually, yeah, I haven't played Eclipse in a few days, actually. Just
That should give the decom protocol enough gas to run.
haven't played much in groups, and Eclipse is very much my my group build. Yeah, and hey to you as well, and yeah, I'm messing about a little bit with trying out some streaming, seeing mostly as well, just checking out like on a technical level if it all works. Because also, yeah, today I'm upped my bitrate from my last attempt, which didn't look horrible, but was a little bit choppy, a little bit,
It's right in the middle of the lab.
yeah, a little bit too low bitrate. Even though that was actually the recommended bitrate. So here, hopefully, I hope everybody just joins me, because we can just skip this room, but one person chooses not to. Hopefully they just realize what is happening and just do join us, but I'm just going to kill that thing for them. So here, if all people join us in this room, we can just interact with this laptop. We're just going to take the timer. In 7 seconds, they'll get pulled. They're actually finally noticed. And with these leagues, so when I'm doing it in matchmade, I'm not going to be too harsh on people, as even though, yeah, they're 1K plus, like they should know better. It's okay.
West Wing Construction.
None of these are
They haven't been disposing of the corpses properly.
that hard that it's going to actually break something. There's only a few left that are very much like that are where somebody can mess up to an extent that they will mess it up for everyone.
Could be anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spread my fire out. Get the next wave as they spawn down there. There's going to be another wave up here. Everything hopefully dies. Yeah,
Cats are using blood from an asymptomatic
and we can move on.
who's infected but doesn't show symptoms. If I'm right, they're weaponizing green poison and turning it loose in the city, destroying anything that might be contaminated.
I'm actually surprised that matchmaking went that fast, as often people just do these things on Tuesdays or they just leave them, basically. I've had it take forever at times. But that likely means that, yeah, the play race, of course, like, it's filled up a little bit more. Looting on a hard mission. I'm going to put a fire on those heavies. It's not going to do much against them, but it's just going to give that damage bonus. Not that it's like required, but
Emmeline's the head of the outcasts. If she's an asymptomatic carrier,
but yeah, we're very much on track for stage 10, and that's always
It's going to take you into the DCD research.
one of the things that I miss the most. Is so originally for newer players that haven't had those experiences, it used to be that where we have it now with 3 challenging or 3 hard and then 1 challenging as being the missions selected for the league. It used to be 3 challenging and 1 heroic. So you would have to do a mission on heroic with a timer. And most of them, even back then, they were very, very much doable. I'm going to put my hive back here, push in, and I'm going to actually make the run towards that laptop. Just save some time on it. Yeah, that's the 2 places where the waves spawn, and just taking care of it.
The DCD's data now.
And I'm in position to just hit it right away.
Grab for Kelso.
Data transfer initiated.
And here we're basically on a timer anyway, so nothing we do here to speed it up or anything really matters, because we're going to clear it underneath the time that is set there. The only difference that catches people out is this wave, because that doesn't happen on heroic, so everybody forgets that on hard sometimes it is like that. I'm also going to take the time here for a second and just inspect my allies, just see what they have. Just curiosity. So, weirdish thing, almost PvP kind build, and that. A bit too blue for what is needed here. But usually for any of these league events, all I really need is just 1 good red with me if I'm on Eclipse. And also I can, if need be, I can do them all solo. They,
Completed.
especially with either Hunter's Fury or just going tech tank.
But I don't think the outcasts are gonna be able to do much else from here.
Thanks for getting me that data to play with.
Here they come. Be careful.
Yeah, just
An agent has gone offline.
that sucks for them because they will likely not be able to reconnect before we are finished with this mission. So they will not get credit for it. I need to put one for the boss spawns, because I do want to catch her the second she spawns. I'll put my hive up there. So my hive's taking care of people upstairs. I'll take care of everything down here. Just gonna help him along. Something escaped, but it's also the last wave. Just gonna spread my fire. And that should be it. And that isn't a great time because also, yeah, we're waiting even for 30 seconds on one of those watches. Going to hang around with them for a second and see if any of them goes to a next one or anything. Going to highlight Lincoln, just see if anybody like catches it and maybe joins me for it. Potomac as well. Okay, I'll join them for Potomac. Yeah, I'm just hanging out as well. Just feel free if you guys have any questions or, well, related to anything. Just basically feel free to ask them. And so this is the challenging one, I think. Yeah, challenging.
What the hell? Stay here.
This one guy is always, yeah.
Escape route.
So you can actually kill him silently and not aggro everything else. Not that, yeah, that's not required for here. Can actually quite be handy for on heroic, as it lets you get in the position a lot better. But for that, yeah, you basically need to be on comms, like people need to know. That's the lawnmower. They're likely on, oh, okay, they had just enough health. Going to try to catch that one. Especially here, I want to be at the head of the team, move in, and because this group is very packed together and they are perfect for me to
Now we know this
do that to them.
is home.
And that should kill everything in that group except if there's any heavies in there. Oop, I hit the back of my ally. Going to use that to spread the fire. And just, yeah. And yeah, the only thing that will usually survive is heavies. And also, if my group was weaker or anything, like they're actually pretty strong. They're taking care of heavies quite consistently and well. But even if I was with a weaker group, the one thing I could do is actually use my crossbow to break the chest of the heavy, and then they should be easier for them.
Agent is no longer in your group.
And to try to catch someone here. Again, that heavy should be very much deader than that, quicklier with a full red. Also, no, both of my allies are not full reds. but both of them together are doing good enough damage.
Burning the division. Fuck you.
You're almost to the dock, Agent. Hope you're not too late.
That's just going to heal up just in case.
Critical.
I was safe there, but sometimes hard to tell. I missed. I'm going to try again. That one cat. So I'm going to focus my attention over there. That wave usually always spawns there. They can spawn actually one door on the left.
Seeing a lot of movement toward the boats, but no sign of the strategist.
And then, yeah, this wave as well. They spawned on top, which is the worst one. It's hard to see up there. That caught the ceiling of it. That is a very annoying shot. But I did get it.
Take out the intruders! Protect the boats!
So my allies aren't killing the boats. What I'm going to yeah, I'm going to do that actually. So just going to swap to red, do it myself. And there's always something you can do when you're out of combat. You have the option to swap back and forth. It's the same actually as well with the door on, for instance, the door on Grand Washington. Like if your team is weak, you can swap to, the Eclipse can swap to
Plans.
a red and just,
Targets are filtered inside. We have to
you know,
make sure he
do
doesn't
it. I'll do it myself. Hey, Gross. No, I haven't put the hotshot build in there yet. Actually, it's still a black spot. It is actually. It's. I can actually show it in a second. The only reason I haven't really put it up there is I don't think it's going to be a build that I'm going to keep. Really, it's basically another headhunter. It's either going to. So what I'll likely actually do is it'll replace the tip of the spear. If it's, I haven't actually done. So that's what I'm literally like waited on. Is I haven't done the calculations on which one is better yet, and I'm just way behind on those kind of stuff. But it's basically the perfect headhunter chest and the RLD backpack with vigilance, and the rest 4 pieces hotshot, like just the tip of the spear, but then because yeah, there's actually 3 builds that I have ready, but I haven't added them into the build collection layer yet. They're the 3 like the empty spots. Oh, actually, is the term broken again? Okay. So I haven't really, I've been a little bit out of it with, basically since the release of this season. So
Kelso.
I'm catching up a little bit, because asking people of
You to finish the job, Agent.
what's broken, what's working again. But is it the same broken that is, that it was? It's the, like, it carries over when it shouldn't again? Or is it something else? The other 2, so one of them is a Red Patriot, and the like the more common variant that exists nowadays. The variant that I used to have in there is actually like existed before Countdown. Like since Countdown came out, the a way of doing Red Patriot is a little bit different because you set it up in a little bit more combat way, basically. And the other one, I don't actually remember off the top of my head. but it is the black spots in my build collection. I can actually look after this. They are actually already named, and the spots are basically reserved for them. But oh yeah, the other one is sort of drone hybrid with striker. So an offensive version with crit damage on all the pieces, but with 6 skill tiers, basically the same as the negotiator to drone hybrid,
Need to clear the building.
but then with strikers. It's not, it doesn't work as well, in my opinion, but it is actually an interesting build. So I was testing it out, and I'm going to add that one definitely onto the collection because it does work.
Thank God.
It's just that the negotiator to me feels a little bit better, but yeah, but it does work. So it is a decent enough build, and it's more as a variant, and it's likely also not going to make the recommended list. Going to push in, get the fire going. Might actually go down here, but I luckily barely survived because I wanted to be a bit closer, especially for this wave. Oh man, we got that guy killed without without it exploding, and then one of our allies did actually explode. He has a hive, so he'll get up on his own. And for this boss fight, I always go here in the upper left, and then also go all the way in the back into the upper left. Okay, so yeah, determined. It's funny that, yeah, bugs seem to circulate a little bit. I am actually, so one of the things I was kind of surprised by is that they did that, of course, the XP changes, and that they did it correctly. So they actually did fix the double XP from convoys. Like convoys, at least with my very limited testing, they seem to be just giving single XP, which actually makes that together with them getting a nerf to their XP actually makes them less viable than most other activities. But because it was mostly the double XP that was the cause of how much stronger they were. But it was interesting to see. I was absolutely expecting it to be incorrect still, to be basically still double XP, but then just a reduced XP amount. Oh, I do actually. I just noticed that I don't have I don't have Golden Bullet on, which I absolutely should, because that just makes this easier. I'm actually surprised there isn't people even matchmaking without Golden Bullet, as quite often one of my gripes with Golden Bullet is how much it eats up all. You can't basically matchmake without it, and while I understand how powerful it is, yeah, it is a little bit much. And that should be it.
Got you.
No! Please don't hurt me! I'll do whatever you want! I'll tell
So yeah, our strategist,
Calm down. Stop it.
the guy that it's interesting that this guy came up during with the cutscene of this season, that they said they nabbed Chernenko and the strategist, and I basically completely had forgotten who the strategist was. I had to go like, wait, who did it? And then yeah, I mean, it took me a few seconds to just remember. I am going to leave this group and
You have left.
join a group with Golden Bullet on, because I also just want to start on those challenges as well. So those when I usually put in those black ones, so usually they're only up for a few days. That's just basically a reminder to myself of just this needs to be filled in. these ones stayed up for quite a while because I had some issues last few months, which now are mostly gone. But yeah, that did take away any time of like leisure times. And also then, yeah, I just leave those kinds of things. Oh yeah, that is indeed true with the global event with the Golden Bullet being all the way. I didn't see it at all actually until I saw the tweet. Like it was probably active for a few days before I actually saw that tweet. I'm also curious. So we are doing the challenges now, which is tied to this last one. I'm curious when we reach this last one, if you've done the challenges now already, if they'll already be considered completed or if they'll reset it. Because we have never had an event moved up like this. They have added in events later, but we've never had that we had access to an event that should start later. So I'm curious to see what will happen when we reach that point, but it's far enough away that they could fix it. But also if it doesn't, it's fine actually. It saves on the doing them. So I still have Roosevelt and Lincoln, and I am going to go do those real quick. Yeah, Lincoln is one of the all-time favorites when it comes to speedrunning style.
Even when it seems like you aren't doing anything, you're always doing something. Breathing counts as something. Sometimes we get...
Hi, John. Yeah, it has been a little bit. I've could be should have made a few more videos, but I also decided to be a little bit lazy. But I'll make up for it by streaming a little bit once in a while and seeing how that goes and just spending some time there and yeah. I'm surprised it is taking this long to matchmake for it. So let me double check it did the right difficulty, but it would not be the first time. Yeah, it is on hard. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it if it didn't reset. Yeah, it's but also that wouldn't be that much of an issue. People would it would be something that people could complain about, but also it's yeah, you got those points already. You the only reason to have gotten those challenges is if you did them, so they could just and yeah, we do get an extra week of Golden Bullet. So I am surprised nobody's matchmaking for these for this long. What I'm going to do actually is so let's see, we do have we have two heavy bosses in here, so I want to them I want to do this as Eclipse. What I will do is I'll do it as a Hunter's Fury and just start solo and see if anybody joins me. I'm trying to remember how this... Okay, yeah, this is because of the... So this is one of my ways that I save builds, and it oftentimes confuses me when I pick them. So as you may see here, this is an Obliterate Wicket, and that, of course, shouldn't make sense in most cases. But the way that this build is set up is that I either put in a Memento or I'll put in a Ridgeway. This is actually on the build collection. I believe it's even set up as the Ridgeway version of Hunter's Fury. So I quite often save them like this because on this character especially, I do have all of the exotics just on them. And then I swap to the exotic that I want. So I can either have it as a Obliterate with a Memento, or I could have it at a Ridgeway and and Wicked. And I will go actually with Wicked. Oh, did I actually? Oh no, it is still matchmaking. I'm just going to start and see if anybody joins. And quite often what you have is
We need you to secure
a few guys over there.
Sun's forces. They maintain this outpost. The True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
But yeah, especially on this account, I'm not that fussed about my times as long as I do get stage 10.
Hostile.
Actually, not on this account. I'm not even. So usually on my main account, I do go for the full 120 points. I almost always. I haven't. Well, actually, I always have gotten 120 points.
It looks closed.
Agent, you'll need to find a way to open that gate.
As I basically do it on both weeks, and then also all of the 4 on both weeks, and then the extra challenge as well. As usually, they aren't difficult. They're just a little bit time consuming, but I usually mix it in with just what I'm farming. And at this point, it's basically one of those, yeah, just a streak that I want to keep going. But it's also, yeah, not very much not recommended to do it that way. What I would recommend is just doing the 4. Well, actually, you only need 3, but I would recommend actually doing all 4. I went up, but I shouldn't do that when I'm not when I'm just red build.
All clear. I repeat, the compound is all clear.
No, that can't be all of them. Check the interior while I get...
Yeah, one thing you can actually do as well with especially Hunter's Fury is a lady that actually does make quite a difference if you're going through them with Hunter's Fury. Yeah, especially with Golden Bullet, and yeah, these are of course on hard.
Damn it. The True Sons have turned the memorial into a base. There's an area beneath you with increased security. Isaac can't access data on this location. Stay alert.
Yeah, usually I do all of the challenges and stuff basically, and even go over the 60 points required. Is you do get XP for each and every one of those. So if you're at 60, if you so basically every time you get a stage 10, that is actually more than a full level of XP. So every stage is basically 73k, I believe. It'll pop up at the end here as well, of just a bunch of 70 something Ks popping up. And yeah, it is actually easy level. It's for like 5 minutes of work. You get a level. Now, of course, in the past, yeah, there are better, easier ways of getting levels. But yeah, it is a... At least for me, it's also... It is actually... I don't mind being on hard once in a while. Just, you know, you get that power fantasy, basically. It reminds you that... Because, yeah, sometimes it is easy to struggle, especially at Legendary. It's easy to struggle. It is a good reminder of, yeah, just being super powerful can be fun for a little bit.
That should keep them from getting more of those mortars.
No, I don't have the St. Elmo's yet. I haven't actually gone... So, in the past, I quite often would level way too fast. This time, I haven't really. Mostly because also... So, what also a little bit happened is that I kind of got a little bit burned out on gaming in general, not so much even Division. what I really want to have happen here, by the way, is that this boss, that I get his backpack before it goes invincible, because yeah, that's the only
Go on ahead,
thing that
Magnum.
can eat up some time.
The campus has taken position inside the memorial.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. And that also basically just happened after those few weeks. I wasn't in the mood to play video games at all, really.
Blake Castle. I can't tell.
And yeah, getting back in, I try to
Thank you.
ease my way in. So normally where I would quite often in like 3 or 4 days already be level 100 on both accounts just by playing way too much. Usually not even just like specifically farming, but just having a bunch of directives on and running what was available and just farming. But this time I took it a lot slower.
Hostile assembling a golden bullet.
So
Hostile completed the golden.
going to matchmake as well for Roosevelt on that one's hard as well. Hopefully for Roosevelt I do actually get a group. I might actually consider dropping golden bullets and seeing if, because yeah, with that golden bullet I almost instantly got a group, so that would be it could be that, yeah, that a lot of people haven't figured it out yet. Because there, especially if I can get a 1 or 2 decent reds with me, I can, with an Eclipse, make it very easy to go through it. But on the other hand, I'll just hop over. Well, yeah, thanks, Sean. So. I mean, I wasn't gonna just disappear on you guys. Don't worry about that. And also, yeah, what happened wasn't too horrible. Just, you know, needed a little bit of time off, which I also luckily got. And actually, the coming few months is going to be a lot lighter for me because also I was overworked, very much so. But that's going to ease down a little bit as well. So that's also opening me up to, yeah, stream once in a while. So, but yeah, I am quite interested in the St. Elmo's. I need to actually add it into my burst and sustain tables sheets and see where it actually lands, especially on sustain, because of its 70 rounds and such. It is actually an interesting weapon. I'm gonna just take a tech tank for this one because of the last room. Just gonna leave matchmaker running and just start anyway. I have 18 minutes, and that is more than enough for
The outcast stronghold and neutralizing their leader,
me to get through here on solo.
serious damage to the faction. Also,
The only other thing is, yeah, in groups, it's actually easier in groups, I find, just because I can get to be an Eclipse. And
Got a few hostiles ahead.
but soloing as an Eclipse on this, especially because there is going to be heavy boss, those guys are just annoying to get through.
Received.
Although with Golden Bullet they wouldn't be as annoying, but just...
More bad guys just past the fuselage of a cargo plane. No indication they heard the shooting.
Anything? Not a goddamn thing. Why are we patrolling this?
Okay, so yeah, so yeah, especially with its high, or with its open third, yeah, it does seem that could end up high up with her. Yeah, especially, so I think actually it will be quite high in the, likely it will actually, I remember doing just some quick calculations. I don't know if its stats changed between the first PTS and now, because that's the last time I really looked at it. But back then it was actually it was either second on sustain behind the TKB or was top sustain. I remember me making a mistake, but I don't remember what the mistake was and if like the mistake made it first or the mistake made it second. Which is usually how my brain works. I remember like how something worked, but then not the exact outcome.
You are now group leader.
Ooh. We have picked up someone.
Another agent has joined.
Hurry! Let's move!
There's no direct way into the main compound from where you are. If you can get up on the wing, you can detour.
The only annoying thing is it spawned them all the way back there. So he is actually looking like a red. I have to wait for him anyway. I'm going to actually inspect real quick if he's a red. He's a striker without backpack though. That was weird. I'm going to Eclipse. And then hopefully the only part that can be frustrating here is at the last part where if people do not shoot at the gas tanks or they don't shoot at the engine hatch,
At least half a dozen hostiles, but
it can be quite frustrating as an Eclipse because I don't have the damage myself to, especially the engine hatch. A lot of people, if you really want to go for a good time, the strat is to actually
Being assembled.
go on the boat right away, forget about everything else, and just
Assistance needed.
kill that engine hatch. So actually, let me double check my figures there. And also, I'm not sure if it's there might have been changes between BTS. And now that's mostly down to it's basically 70 round. It's the same reason why the Eagle Bearer actually lands up on high, pretty high on the sustain charts.
It's hard to focus with a
Is
at your head.
just having, I mean, in the case of there's 20% more ammo basically before it has to reload,
Have to get me out of here.
and that just adds up. Need to try to catch that wave as it jumps down. So here actually one of the tricks is you can already put a canister there, they'll spawn into it, and then move right, get that group. And that group usually also gets this group coming over, although it's not doing it this time. Well, there it went. And then what I usually do is actually put my hive in here and catch this group. I won't push in because, yeah, there's often an elite rusher in there, and you get hugged to death.
I hope you burn this whole place to the ground.
So I haven't done 2-man of this in a long while. So normally we would have this wave, and then after this we would have a wave that spawns on the left. I'm going to guess on hard that we won't have that, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to put a canister there.
It's coming up on the central area, and it looks like they've sealed the gate.
Then you're gonna have to find a way to unseal it.
Those outside have sacrificed but not in vain.
But yeah, the Elmo actually, just as a weapon, seems pretty okay. Just all because of its mods and its third stat being available. Like that is so often what messes up other exotics, just poor mods or poor third stats.
Received.
So one thing that I'm going to do here is actually push in very far. one thing you can do here is you can also do this on heroic actually, is if you push in very hard, although, so normally that would be on the left here, on the left back there, there's actually a little
The golden bullet.
container where you can stand up on. That's usually my hiding spot there, and you can catch all these waves coming to you. So the one thing I'm hoping for here is that my ally helps me with this, although actually, yeah. So the
They're bound to be expecting you.
golden bullet is very overpowered.
What the hell was that?
A group of hostiles is moving toward a boat on the east shore. They're escorting someone who...
Yeah, usually that's the one thing that Eclipses very much struggle on.
It isn't gonna be easy. You've got to stop that boat. Find a way to the shore and make sure that boat doesn't get away.
Yeah, I'm willing to say I'm better than most with, especially Eclipse. I mean, it is my it is my favorite build for. Well, I mean, favorite group build. I wouldn't say I have actually a favorite build. Although there, of course, because I'm talking about it, I missed twice. But yeah, usually the thing that very much makes a difference and
Hasn't launched yet. Looks like they're in the process of...
lets you get better with it is just, well, in the same way of just going for headshots and stuff, just doing it helps a lot.
Emmeline,
Also learning the tricks, bouncing,
Assuming that was...
basically dragging towards where the enemy is. So usually what you'll see me do is just aim towards basically where the enemy is. If I'm short or long, I'll basically drag up and down, and I'm just looking for that red line. Whenever I see that red line, I'm quite confident then that I'm going to hit here. And also here with hard, most of the enemies, as the second I basically get a Val hit on them, so even hitting them with the Scorpion, just doing the poison on them, they're basically dead at that point. I'm hoping I get a golden bullet here, and I will then kill that with it. Because my ally went the other side, which, yeah. Yeah, like there, I'm basically just looking for it to go red. Going to toss a flame grenade there. Trying to catch stuff coming out, although my placement was poor. Yeah, here as well. So golden bullet is making this a little bit easier. But yeah, because this is the only requirement in this part. Is just you open that hatch, you place it. You don't actually shoot that thing, which a lot of people do.
Golden bullet complete.
But this is basically mission complete already. But yeah, a lot of people go for killing when.
without their leader and their stronghold, the outcasts are gonna be much less of a problem.
And here we're
You know,
doing some war crimes by killing retreating enemies
I just hope
very like indiscriminately, which, yeah. Okay, that was all of the leak.
No longer in a group.
So yeah, build manage or inventory management is very much a topic that I want to do a video on eventually, because yeah, it really depends on what you're going for. So I've inventory managed in different ways through like different times. Nowadays, what I usually do is I have all of my builds on my characters. So actually, let me go sell off what it rewarded me here from season and such. But so I have all my builds on that character, and that usually takes up about basically 100 120 to 130 part pieces on that character usually. Have I actually do not remember if I am proficient on. So on this account actually as well, I've basically just resourced my way through the proficiency. I am already expertise 23, and my FAMAS has already gone to 23 on this account as well. On my other account, I'm not done yet. But yeah, so usually I have all the pieces in here, and on this account I also have all of the exotics on every character, on this character, because this is the only character on this account that I actively use. But then what inventory management basically becomes is if I need more, for instance, into going into Countdown and stuff, I'll put it into my stash. And I'll put a few builds in my stash and just keep whatever I'm going to use during those times. And then pull them back out. And then you can use the store and retrieve options from here. From in the option screen of loadouts. So it's send to stash and then retrieve from stash. But especially on what I keep and such, so nowadays mostly what the pieces that I keep, so my stash is usually pretty full. So on this account it's less full than on my other. And what I usually decide by what I keep is if I'm going to use it. So for instance, I have pieces like, for instance, this Grupo piece with the blue core stuff and such that I will use, for instance, to that few times that I PvP or something to grab those. I have some stuff that, yeah, I think I might need just to swap in and out of some builds. I have some gear set pieces for other, so I've basically, for instance, I have a striker chest, for instance, in here ready if I want to swap into a striker chest. And the most important thing that I usually keep stuff by is how long would it take me to reacquire it if I needed it. So for instance, a piece like this, which is for an explosive build with a Grupo with a skill haste and skill damage, this is actually pretty hard to get, and this would not get deleted that fast. For instance, just a Grupo piece, this I would be fine deleting. Or for instance, this Bellstone piece, I don't even actually know why I have this in here. I'm not likely to use it ever, so I'm actually going to destroy it there. And then yeah, a few gear set pieces. But mostly it's pieces that are either harder to farm for, so YAL pieces and such. And yeah, in this account as well, I'm keeping basically from all of the important brands, a blue court piece and a red court piece with crit chance, crit damage. And usually what I usually suggest people do is either focus on a few things and just farm for those specifically. And then if you see a thing that kind of makes sense, maybe hang on to it, delete it later if you have to. But especially once you're a little bit more advanced and you already have a few more builds, it becomes basically, is this thing going to, if I need this again, would it take me forever? And that's usually what I keep it by. So, and then I have basically parts that I use regularly. I have them at the ready. But yeah, for instance, this Petrov backpack, I don't know, for instance, why I still have that in here. But also, as long as I have more than 60 spots in my stash, I'm fine. I can then stash away a few builds. I can have 80 or something available to me, which is all I need for, especially for Countdown. That's usually the only time I really need. Because usually, as you see me do, I'll loot on the ground. I don't loot into my inventory. I usually check it on the ground and throw it away. With the sole exception being in Countdown, because there it's time sensitive and it's nicer to not do that to your team. So considering what to do now, because yeah, we did the leak. Yeah, the group of pieces with for explosive builds are always some of the harder parts to get. It always almost ends up to being a piece that you basically have to just be okay to spend a lot and optimize it up. Because yeah, you're usually not going to get a good piece, easily a good piece, and it's just, they can be quite expensive. So what I haven't done actually on this account is the manhunt for this week, or for this part. I think I'm gonna go do that. Unless you guys want to see something in specific, feel free to feel free to ask. And in this case, I'm going to grab a tech tank for that. For some reason, I left this character on heroic or on normal, so I'm gonna just swap back to heroic. Also, as a simple tip, if you didn't know, whenever you're in these open spaces where there are basically other players, if you change your settings in here, you don't get a loading screen. So normally, if you're in like in the White House or something, you would get a loading screen to change difficulty. I haven't actually even checked what the directives are for this season. Oh, actually, let me grab. So the nice thing about tech things, especially, is they don't care about cool skills at all, because I'm not using the other skill at all. So I'm going to actually grab Fragile Armor and Ragers, and then head into that that manhunt on this account. So yeah, this account has barely any levels on the season yet. And enter the castle settlement. I'm actually gonna watch this cutscene. I'll leave it running just in case people haven't seen it.
You've confirmed it?
Sokolova left a message for you.
I don't want to hear anything she has to say.
We need to do a head count.
Already done. We're missing 8.
3 at the White House.
We know about Cindy. Who else is missing?
Oh,
Chernenko and the strategist.
Shit.
Yeah.
Where's Kelso?
Went back to New York.
that's such a weird line.
I know you and Fred were close.
We were just friends. I was your brother. Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
And here we have the new hero of the division.
Okay. So sorry, girl.
I'm gonna go check in with the scouts.
Here. Here you go. I'm so sorry, girl.
Agent, gear up. Black Tusk has hostages. We need to get our people back.
And of course, by we need to get our people back, he means I need to get our people back. He's just gonna
Taken several of our people hostage. We need to
not do anything about it himself. So one thing I actually hadn't caught before there is that they also so Cindy as well is
Wally. Scouts are looking
captured by the
following up on a couple of leads,
Black Tusk.
hoping one of them pans out.
And Cindy is the drone operator. She's the one that you usually, like, is the female voice that is guiding you through a lot of the missions.
Water system analyzed. Defect detected.
I think this is the first place that I send them to.
Pressure detected.
Oh yeah, that is. But yeah, I hadn't caught that.
Increased water pressure detected.
But I wonder, yeah, so that's likely going to be then next season, probably, of getting people back then. Also, I'm curious if I actually go to the White House after this, if Cindy
plumbing skills, Agent.
isn't there or is there.
Main power offline. Local power grid compromised. Power grid inoperative.
You know, she's working remote. She's just, you know, guiding us while in that cell.
Point detected.
You know, just because you're captured doesn't mean you don't have to do your job. Yeah, the directives this season. I wish actually they would rotate directives more frequently. For instance, every manhunt or something. That way
Power online.
you could have it a bit more. You would get them a bit more frequently.
Fluctuations in local power detected. Communications facilities offline.
Don't exactly remember. Oh yeah, yeah.
Power levels normalizing.
So one thing that I already did notice is that so this control point to the south of here is now because the manhunt hasn't started. It is just through suns, and if you're actually standing too close to it
Communication relay.
when after this final part, you have to fight Black Tusk and True Suns. You get one wave of True Suns basically still being there.
Rebooted. Communications.
Because the game is basically going to replace them.
Hey, Agent. Scouts reported a sighting of John in Southwest. Hopefully we can pick up his trail.
Agent, we've got reports of John Yazzie being held at the choke.
Let's see if that happened again as well here. Which, yeah, is just oddity. They're loading stuff in too close. It's just... although this time it seems to have worked correctly. Because I only see Black Tusk. Yeah, let's head in here and murder some people.
Hostile assembling a golden bullet.
Actually, one thing I'll do here is already get them called in.
Hostile completed. The golden bullet. Reinforcements incoming.
So one thing that is always quite a difference is if once the tech tank is charged up, it's a lot stronger than, or well, the Memento especially just by itself. So much stronger when So I'm trying to get this guy upstairs, but actually being very smart about it. Until that point. I'm just gonna do the thing that I should have done from the start, and that's go around. First to kill the sniper. I also need that box gone, but I can probably kill the owner. Oh, we have some True Sons in here. I didn't despawn all of them, as it should. Or as you would expect. None of it.
We lost one. Back off. Engaging hostile.
Yeah, the thing I should be doing is actually building up stacks before I try to kill him.
Hostile detected.
Yeah, the targeted of Golan. It's funny how Golan, yeah, it went. Well, it's going to go from a piece that was very much in vogue to have or to farm, especially for Eclipse, of course. And now, yeah, that's once Electric actually gets added into the targeted pool. Then yeah, Golan is going to become one of those brands that will not see any use almost. Because while it does pop up in regen builds kind of stuff, but regen builds aren't as popular at all. But they've never really been. But yeah, we have a named heavy. Just going to go for one of these golden bullets before I go after that named.
I'll destroy it.
Yeah, to re-show the quick kill on heavies. Just actually going to chain him and kill this ally of his. And this is that. I'm actually surprised that they coded that in all the way, so that True Sons and Black Tusk no longer engage each other. They used to in the past, always engage each other. Yeah, Hero's always the quick kill on these heavies, so you go behind them. There's a hole back there, and you can just go through that. Yeah, as you can see, his chest was not broken there, so it was just me going through that hole in the back. That can make it a lot easier to kill those heavies. We're accidentally doing a supply convoy. Because, yeah, especially with golden bullets. That's very much easy. Well, actually, yeah, grab the resources and complete that resource convoy, even though yeah, it's not as valuable as it used to be. Still decent XP. It's always here going through this window is always very weird. You also have this little graphical glitch here That is always a little bit weird. So there's basically an overlay that is applying that effect on the wall, but if when you stand on that side, you know, suddenly you become very gooey as well. There's actually a lot of places where stuff like that. The funny thing is that is actually true in so many Ubisoft games, because almost all of them basically use the same. One of the things that Ubisoft does a lot is they'll make assets and they'll basically be all available for all of the studios, which is why they can make such, you know, impressive amounts of clutter and different types of things, because they just have many different versions of them. I also hear one of the things you can do always here is there's that little box in the distance there, and you can shoot it. The resources drop on top of you when you shoot that box. I'm going to have to start this bounty. I'm actually also surprised at the way that they changed this here to be linear, almost as it is now. It somewhat makes sense. It is gameplay-wise a little bit more consistent, or like a bit more controlled on their part, so that they can send you to a control point in the back. But also, I totally did not mind the old version. And also, this part is annoying because when you, in the past, when you had different people on different parts, so if one person already had done one of the control points or something, that didn't matter. You could do the rest of it together, and then they could do that final part solo whenever they had the time. That is no longer possible, of course, because you need to catch up, basically, before you need to be eligible for the bounty to count. And while, yeah, it is a minor gripe, it is. I understand it, but also I don't. I'm happy I could shoot him underneath there. Ah, yeah, the Black Tusk, the hunters do indeed, yeah, usually count as Black Tusk. Especially in Countdown. Those Countdown ones. I'm actually unsure if all of the hunters count as Black Tusk. But yeah, that's especially the Countdown ones, because they're also weird. They're not implemented completely as hunters, really. That they also don't. That's the reason they don't count for the Ridgeway project. Is nobody thought of that. And I also, yeah, the changes they made it as well. Some of the actually they didn't fix the TKB at all yet, did they? Can I rotate this? Yeah, the hanging mark. I'm surprised that still isn't fixed, even though they fixed the capacitor and the Dr. Home graphics and stuff like that. But yeah, the capacitor graphic is actually one of the ones that, like, the graphic changes to it is quite good. I'm surprised that they implemented that after all this time, basically catching back up. It's gonna do the same thing to this heavy.
System restored.
Yeah, especially Golden Bullet is helping to make this a lot easier. And the downside of open world bounties, you just get random people joining. But yeah, at least it's not a marauder, I was gonna say, but this is another patrol. Oh wait, that's a... Okay. Let's go take care of this guy real quick.
Target spotted, Sheriff.
Yeah! Look at us! One battle won.
Yeah, here I'm gonna actually use my spec weapon as an opener.
Guarding location nearby.
Actually, the one thing that the tech missile launcher is nice for is especially dogs like this, is even on heroic, although even just one hit there. There's a downside with it is they can evade it quite well. But yeah, usually just 2 missiles will on solo heroic will take care of a dog.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Confirmed. The recruiter dropped Yazzie off at No Hope 10 minutes.
But yeah, story-wise, this makes this is a bit cooler. That like, oh yeah, they took them. They went here. Oh, they went here.
You got the target. Nice.
Putting you on the trail,
Hostile control point.
or at least trying to make it feel like that.
It's one bad guy at a time. Nicely done, Sheriff.
I'm going to leave those guys alone. They should be outside of the range once I get up there. Yeah, for No Hope Hotel. Usually what I do for here is I sneak up here. Just gonna spot all of them just so I can easily see them. And I just go say hi. Yeah, this with once the memento is charged, it's usually always safe. Like unless I get completely surrounded in that back part, I can just push into them. And yeah, especially with golden bullets, I can just push into them. One thing I am gonna do is actually call in my allies. And that's just to have the opportunity to have rogues if that happens. If you split it up into 2 parts, you can actually never have rogues. Which you can either choose to, if like that is if that's something you want, you can always. If you split it up basically into 2 fights. That named really did not know what was happening.
Location guarded by hostiles.
Though here I'm also getting a
Incoming hostiles detected.
convoy coming in, so that's, yeah, it's gonna be a big fight, but
Golden bullet being assembled by hostiles.
I'm actually not gonna overextend. Usually I just rush into them, but
Can't get a shot.
Get the fuck back!
I'm gonna push over there and spawn camp that resource convoy, just get them out of the way, and then deal with the rest. No need to make this harder than it needs to be.
Heavy contact.
Also, I'm aiming a little bit high and missing a little bit more because of that for the league headshots on Black Tusk. Just kind of get a few of those in. Maybe get a stage or two.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Man down.
Agent, Yazzie spotting.
And we did get rogues.
Closing in on him.
Civilians in danger. Rogue agent detected.
That was... That is interesting. Why are they...
I'm making the world a better.
They're not on heroic.
Don't let them win.
Restore hive detected. Hostile
Like-
restore hive detected.
One heroic shot should not take off. That's interesting. Is that actually a known issue or something? Somebody... Oh.
Eliminated.
Yeah. They also did not drop heroic loot. Because, yeah, that could not happen normally.
Supply
Interesting.
process.
When did that break with the season as well? Yeah, that first one melted way too fast, and the second one, yeah, it became apparent that that was not a heroic enemy. So they were taking. For a second, I was like, "Hey, I still have golden bullet up," but that wasn't the case.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
But you do need to go read up on the Trello board and see what the known issues are actually, because it might be handy for me, you know. Also, that's a weird thing, right? Why is there a backpack in the... Huh. Alright. Because, yeah, usually blueprints, even when they get rewarded from CPs, they are just rewarded. They are not... they are not in the chest. I'm actually quickly going to go check, because the next part is, yeah, it is that thingy. So I'm actually quickly going to go check if that blueprint actually was a real blueprint or... Okay, and the same chests dropping. Oh.
Everything is priced to move.
But it also, yeah, in the feed showed as a blueprint in the yeah, this interesting. It in the chat log basically showed as being a being a blueprint. Or in the side log. See, it does not show in the chat log. It's noticed. Because yeah, I did already see that there was that there's a misnamed item in there already with that you can loot. I need to start this map. Let's go. Yeah, let's go from capital. Yeah, yes, exactly the to-do gear set. Because yeah, those. So in the last few seasons, there were also these ones they seem to be actual pieces because you can actually pick them up and put them in your stash. I found out, but especially
Received.
just random
The golden bullet.
random exotic. That's I'll never say no to those. But they were mostly the cosmetics that were tied to those in the last few seasons. It's also still the reason that on both my accounts on the apparel tab. So normally when you just take the exclamation point away from that one. Actually did. Okay, they fixed that. That is also quite surprising. Because yeah, so I used to always have just in the same way that I have it here with my progression on my apparel, I used to always have that exclamation mark up. And even if so normally only these caches, just because you keep getting them, you could tag them out. But there was basically a hidden piece in here somewhere that was causing that, which was also one of those to-do pieces, but then from previous seasons.
Target is near.
I haven't actually checked. Can you equip the pieces? I actually didn't. I don't think. I have one on my main account in my stash. But yeah, I'm going to guess they're completely statless and nothing's tied to them. So. Which is, yeah.
System malfunctioning.
Like having a gray set.
System back online.
Random named here. Where did this... Oh, okay, it's just a random turret.
Stay there! I'm on my way.
Yeah, the Great Death. But at least that the gray pieces are quite easy to get. Although they would be quite impossible for me to get on my main account. Well, I mean, not truly impossible, but I would have to delete a character for it.
Where are all the hostiles?
It's interesting as well with this bounty that they've programmed it to go in this direction. So usually when you get bounties in this area, it goes the different way around. You go through the garage first, and then come up to here. Well, I mean, you just basically have to. So there is someone that is actually has done missions and stuff, just with the gray gear. But yeah, they're mostly just making use of the turret drone. But yeah, they're still zero tier items, so it's pretty slow. You just have to survive. I'm curious what the amount of armor it is that it gives you, because yeah, their base armor is of course also going to be basically level 1.
Complete. Agent received a golden bullet.
I'm curious here if I'm bugged now. So I did get armor break there, which oh, okay. Or I was, because I heard the armor break sound, but I apparently did not armor break. I mean, I'll take it. It's in my favor, so I'm not going to dispute it, but
There they are.
yeah, I'm also very curious because they haven't said anything, from my understanding, about what the expansion. They called it an expansion, I believe, right? What that's going to be. Because I'm gonna guess, I mean, what they're hinting towards St. Louis, that seems the obvious thing, but yeah, just having a new region or something would be quite cool. Like Warlords really did help quite a lot in well, also the rebalance of gear around that point, but also yeah, just having an extra piece of just a bigger game world. Gonna go over the head just for the headshot.
Get to the Space Administration HQ. Target neutralized. Good work. Looks like you earned yourself another bounty. Well done.
Oh, Brooklyn. Okay. Oh, yeah, there was that. I still have to watch that live stream. Yeah. Yeah, basically have some catching up to do to be back on the same level as everybody else that has kept up. I'm just gonna bang out space admin as well, and then yeah, the selection of directors, especially just having Ragers always, is indeed. Ragers is, I mean, it's not completely free, but it's one of the easier ones to deal with. It's just more armor on some enemies. Actually, the thing I also just had forgotten is with Ragers, I'm actually a lot more fine with Fog of War as well. So I should actually just turn on Fog of War as well. Because when you kill stuff, that Rager bar spreading just reveals enemies as well. Because yeah, usually I have fog of war is not one of the things that I usually put on. And that's mostly down to as well, just whenever I do fog of war, I feel almost like forced to actually really pay attention to the audio side of things as well, because that's usually the way that you work around that. But yeah, that is usually more attention than I'm like willing to to give. And also when I'm just playing and like not streaming, like right now, I'm usually listening to YouTube videos or something in the background, just half watching something on the second screen. So I may have overextended a little bit, but it'll end up fine. Yeah, just having another expansion would be nice as well for just bringing people into the game as well. Although I don't think the game's hurting as much as some people sometimes claim. Like, I think they're pulling healthy enough numbers for a 5-year-old game.
Golden bullet being assembled by hostile.
It was always destined to be a little bit more niche than the marketing made it out to be, because yeah, there is some complexity to it. It's not as plug and play as a lot of people expect. I mean, the common phrase that people feel that it's very much bullet spongy game. It's most of the people I've seen that made that claim, if you basically ask a little bit more, you find that yeah, they didn't go into the depths of the game and just had bad builds as well, usually. But also yeah, that poor understanding of why it is that way. But yeah, this is basically MMO style. It's bullet spongy because it is for a purpose. It's not just to waste your time.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
That was one shot to Healthgate almost.
Rogue agent detected.
They spawn up here? Okay. Oh. Then no more spawned with them as well.
Rogue striker drone detected.
Is this one heroic? Yeah. Okay.
Striker drone detected.
So this is more the fight that I was expecting with those other two rogues as well. I'm curious to see what happens if I headshot kill this guy, if it will pop up the 81 headshot kills. Just gonna kill that thing. He did count as a Black Tusk headshot kill.
Hostile sniper turret detected.
Oh, it's above me. I mean, Destiny is a lot more. In parts, I feel that this game has a lot of like European design choices in it, which, you know, makes sense. Ubisoft has that a little bit in there. And especially Destiny is very much American style and a lot more consumer friendly, I feel, towards American players. And usually the difference, at least what I feel in those between that, is that usually European games let you make Japanese games as well. So Japanese games are the famous ones where they let you make mistakes. They let you, I mean, the Dark Soul styles, and but also a lot of more even Ubisoft games. They towards their end game have a lot more. They've moved away from it in some games, especially for instance the Assassin's Creed and stuff, but they will let you basically miss something. They won't hard lock you into the right answer. And especially in American design, it's a lot more like linear. It's a lot more
Target coming up the side.
guided. I feel especially Bungie does that quite a lot.
Hostile radio intercepted.
I mean, GTA is very much that. It's well, Red Dead was very much that as well. Just very, very guided. It doesn't let you mess up as much. One of the things quite recently, I was actually I jumped into Destiny a little bit, mostly because also so one of the things that happened during this little break is got a little bit of an upgrade to my PC unintentionally. The motherboard basically broke, and
Agent, we got
that led me to basically swapping out the CPU, the motherboard, and the RAM just for newer stuff, and the power supply as well, as that died as well. So I was like, I'll jump into a few games, see how they kind of look visually, and it put me in like a story mode thing, and a few rooms in, it gave me basically, it was like an open space, and I could it was obvious that it could basically go left, and my direct thing is of like, if you put me in a space like this and my objective is over there, I'm gonna go look over there. Like that's my initial thing. I'm gonna go explore everywhere and then go to the objective last. And basically when I went off the path, it started fading to black, and then just basically reset me to a checkpoint, and I alt F4'd. I basically laughed at the game and alt F4'd. And yeah, like either don't give me the choice of going anywhere else, just that place did not need to exist. Or give me the option to go over there, or just block it off, or do something like that. Don't like let me go explore and then just go basically like, no, little baby, you were going this way. It was, although I will likely go back and I do quite always enjoy at least understanding other games or understanding a lot of games, just how they mechanically work and stuff. So one thing I'm curious about here as well is we're going to get a firing range here. And hopefully that will lead them to maybe make it a better one or just fix some of the problems that the current shooting range has, and especially its numbers and stuff. Because I'm going to guess one of the people that we're going to save is going to become our new target range here. Yeah, that will likely make this... it's weird that there is no hub part here, so no social space where you can see other players and stuff. Where with the White House and New York Haven as well, you of course have those. I mean, that's always also going to be the case with games, especially games that's like MMO style games like this, which are infinite, which don't have really an ending and you just run out of things to do. They add more things to do. In this case, for instance, like seasons and stuff. You end up burning out yourself if you don't watch out. You just keep going too long and it becomes, a chore almost. I've had that with WoW and Diablo especially through the years. I stayed way too long in WoW and stayed way too long in Diablo 3. And you just have to learn to just move on when it's time. Although nowadays it's good that there's many different games available in like the same genres. Like I feel like I've played actually quite a bit of Destiny. Like I've played 200 hours of Destiny, especially around like when it was out for like a few months. And Warframe especially as well is somewhat similar in intent as Division. Actually, let me just quickly check what the targets are. If I need anything on this character's account. Because I'll hang out for another 10 to 15 minutes and then likely I will, and then that will be it for today. Thanks for joining stream. Joining Cross, and hope you enjoyed the stream. And thanks for the chats. Yeah, Division always just needed content to keep going. It was dumb of them to put it on hold for as long as they did for that year. But yeah, sometimes business decisions work like that. It's at least good that they came back to it. I'm happy with that. I'd rather have them come back. Like I'd rather have what happened than just them letting it die off. I'm gonna quickly check the vendors here because I haven't actually checked the vendors. I'll likely do just 2 CPs here in New York and then end it there.
How can I help you, Agent?
Oh, there is actually electric piece on the vendors. Okay, but I think I've already gotten that last week. But yeah, vendors are always nice to max out. One of the annoying things is, and I'm very OCD about it always, is just because I reinstalled the game, or well, the game, it's on a different install, so you get all of those news pop up on the map always. So I just have to go through and I am actually, I'm going to go after these CPs. Because on this account I don't have the new talent on pistols yet, and it's one of the few ones I'm missing still. And while I could craft a lot of pistols, I can also just farm a little bit and get some XP along the way. Of course, there's a elite patrol along the way as well. Considering of how I'm gonna assault these guys, because mostly I don't want to get the CP in here as well, but they actually they did. I have a minigun behind me, a heavy in front of me, and I'm just gonna run away.
Serious trauma detected.
Yeah, that's fine. I overextended by quite a lot. But she is also good. I'll actually drop one of the directives and go a different build just for variety. Yeah, fragile and ragers is fine. And I'll go a third drone hybrid, I think, unless I'm considering something else. Nah, let's just go third drone hybrid. A little bit of different playstyle. Yeah, that's always what I love with the Division is you just swap your loadout is completely different playstyle.
Guarded by hostiles.
Where in most games that would be tied to a class or something. And they would be a lot more linear.
Golden bullet received.
Yeah, this CP is always handy with its Christmas music. Of course, get aggroed by something heading in.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Oh, my drone decided to go into business for itself and just assault the CP already. Yeah, just gonna sneak a golden bullet in there and just make quick work of this. The only annoying thing is always with golden bullet is it's very much tied to weapon builds. Does nothing for the skills. Whereas some of the other ones do apply to skills as well.
Hostiles.
Some of the other global events.
Hostile completed the golden bullet. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Surprised that I haven't armor broken yet, even because yeah, this is a glass build. I got something else along the way as well.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Something's behind me. Yeah, this is the kind of things that would be my death if I had Fog of War up.
Needed.
Because yeah, you just get a random patrol behind you and you just don't see them, man.
Vital signs critical.
Black Tusk has joined the fight. Oof, that was
0.
me overextending again by quite a lot. Could have called them in actually, which I forgot to do. But yeah, sometimes, sometimes it does go like that. Especially when I'm not paying that much attention. Like, it's okay to die. You just... It's not like you lose anything heavily.
Guarded by hostiles.
Just a little bit of time.
Golden bullet being assembled by hostile.
That'll be almost usable with a better talent. Yeah, golden bullets just applying to weapons is always like pushes people very much into red builds for them.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Maybe I should remember. This one is with a Fox's Prayer.
Agent received a golden bullet.
Always, some people get stuck inside and you just have to
Hostile
try to kill them.
bullet.
Just love them jumping out of a second story window like that.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by hostiles. Heavily armored hostile detected.
This is the reason I usually go for the spot when they hide in there. You just have a still have a shot on them, even though it's not a really good one. Oh, it's a heavy boss. I'm just gonna make sure kill the other one. Once my turret and my drone is on them, it's gonna be a easy fight, especially with me having active golden bullet. What I'm gonna do here is actually I'm gonna go grab my turrets.
Good job.
Luckily, I did not call them in, and we have a convoy coming in on us, so I'm gonna deal with the convoy first, and then with the cycle my skills. So what I want to do is put my turrets up there. They'll spawn usually where they also spawn for the, at least I'm expecting that, where they spawn for the CP as well. That door in the back there.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
And they are.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles. Incoming hostiles detected.
There we go. Yeah, just one shotgun on a glass is enough for an armor break. Although I'm surprised I'm still... So for several sessions now, I haven't been bugged with the broken armor directive, where you would quite often have that you heal up and you... So I'm curious if they have fixed it or if it's just been a lucky streak. And yeah, I'm looking for a pistol with the new talent. Just to add it in. Wait, that's a name. That's not going to be it.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Okay, on ammo, so... Jump there. No game, I want to do that.
Reinforcements
Can we
incoming.
jump back? No, I have to be up there to jump back up. That's the window I was hoping I was in, actually.
Contacts.
Because yeah, here it'll come from two sides, so... Or well, they can come from two sides.
Hostile has full golden bullet. Detected
Try to sneak up on me.
by hostiles. Golden bullet refreshed.
Just by the absence of enemies on the minimap, they spawn on the other side. Well, there's that. Interesting that none of them has the golden bullet, like normally.
Received.
Oh,
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Hey, don't waste your ammo!
trying to look for good cover, but we just go up here where I know there's cover. That's way beyond my effective range, but just poking at him. And the universe explodes.
I'm gonna try and take them from the side!
Push a little bit closer.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by
I'm
hostiles.
gonna play it safe and wait for my drone to be back off cooldown and just then become aggressive.
Armored hostile detected.
So I think the boss is on the other side. Yep. Yeah, they're up the map back. I'm gonna zoom out. Although no, at least my allies should be engaged as well. They'll help me a little bit by taking some aggro off. I'm gonna put my turret up there.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Need to get up there to grab my turret. The game discreet.
The golden bullet.
Should be able to break both tanks with one mag. And there we go. A little bit messy with dying, but yeah. That sometimes happens.
Supply room access unlocked.
Oh, and I got the talent that I was after. That's and another blueprint as well. It's interesting, yeah, that they've added those into these boxes, where instead of just granting them from the pool system that they already have available to them. But yeah, that's also going to be it, I think, for my session of today. So yeah, thank you all for joining me, and yeah, hopefully I'll do this more often and try to keep a schedule going and try to you know, build up some viewership and work on that a little bit. But yeah, thank you all that have joined me here, and have a good night, and see you in the next one, hopefully. See you guys.